I call this meeting to order. If you will please join us and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I think you all noticed that today our mayor is not here, so I will be running the meeting, and for the meeting's purpose, I will be the mayor. So the first item on the agenda is public input, and we have several people on here, and as I spoke with Ms. Quintana, I've already told her that we're going to reserve her for the actual agenda item on the beer garden for the Chicano Fest. So the next person on the agenda, on the public input sheet is Raul Turrieta for Walk for the Heroes, and Damian Martinez and Michael Lopez, if you'd like to join Raul at the back at the podium, that would be great. And you have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. My name is Raul Turrieta, and I'm actually the chairperson of the Walk for the Heroes. And I would just like to take a few minutes about the time and date and what's going on. Thank you, Mayor. This is going to be the 6th annual on the Walk for the Heroes. And I just wanted to give you a little brief on how it all started. This is Mike Lopez, and this is Damian Martinez. And 6 years ago, Mr. Lopez had 2 back surgeries and wasn't able to walk. So actually, the doctor stated that you're not going to be able to walk anymore. And he proved him wrong. So 6 years ago, he always wanted to walk from Hurley to Deming. So there was 3 walkers. That was Mike Lopez, Damian Martinez, and a gentleman by the name of Wayne Brown. They actually did the walk of 36.6 miles in 6 years ago. They started off at about 11 o'clock at night and finished about noon the next day. I also did this 2 years ago, and I was practicing on a set of rollerblades. So I would practice 15 miles, 10 miles on Sundays and on Wednesdays. And we actually, I did it for the cause. And that's where Mike did it, was for the cause, for a gentleman by the name of Mr. James H. Hurdle. And he got killed in October 4th of 2003 in Iraq. And he was one of the first ones that was killed from the state of New Mexico. So the mother, by the name of Kay Beam, told Mike, I said, Mike, if you're going to do this walk, can you carry this picture of my son that we lost for the walk itself? So he carried the picture, and ever since, that's where the Walk of the Heroes pretty much came about. I did it 2 years in a pair of rollerblades. After I lost my 23-year-old son, I was out there practicing on Wednesdays and Sundays, 10 miles at a time. It was more of a therapeutic. It was spiritual, and I'm glad I did it. So it was 36.6 miles on a set of rollerblades, and it took me about 6 hours to do. I don't think I'm going to do that again, but that's another story. But that's how everything pretty much started. We're going to be walking now from Hurley, New Mexico, in front of Mr. Stevens' store at 7 o'clock in the registration's between 7 and 9, and we're going to take off at 9. We're going to walk from Hurley all the way to the Baton Park, until about noon to get there. We're going to have burgers and hot dogs, and we're going to have some guest speakers. Mandy Amador from the Vietnam Vets, and thanks to Mr. Jose Ray, he's also going to attend, and thanks to the Vietnam Vets, they're actually going to be one of our main sponsors. The registration is $20. You get a T-shirt, you get lunch, music, good speakers, entertainment, and it's on September 26, 2015, and we're taking off at 9 o'clock in the morning. We just finished with the City Council in Hurley, where they're going to block off part of Cortez Street for the simple reason that we're going to have motorcycle riders that are going to do a ride around the loop. There's going to be over 50, 60 riders. We're going to probably have over 125, 130 walkers going from Hurley to Hurley to the Baton Park. This Saturday, and I'm going to invite, and I'm looking at the camera, I want to invite everybody here in the community, here in Grant County. We're going to have a photo op on Saturday, this Saturday, the 15th, at 2:30 at the Veterans Baton Park underneath the canopy. And that's the actual where the veterans created this canopy next to the helicopter, so that we're going to have a photo op there. So I do ask you guys, please show up Saturday at 2:30 for this photo op. And once again, Grant County, or anybody, veterans, I would like to state that there's over 1,945 veterans that are here in Silver City, Grant County, and there's over 25 100% disabled vets, and I thought I'd just bring that up. Any questions? If not, I really thank Mayor Pro Tem and Council, and you guys have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next person who signed up for public input is Jane, is it Pepin, excuse me, regarding the safety of smart meters for the water system. Please come up and state your name again for the record, if you would.
Thank you.
And you have 5 minutes, and I'll go like this when you have 1 minute, if
Thank
you're
you.
looking at me.
Thank you. So I'm Jane Papan, and I've been a resident of Silver City for 15 years, a very beloved home. And recently I've become aware of the fact that we may have smart meter technology on our water systems to determine the billing. And I've been aware for a long time that smart meters may be dangerous. And I have paperwork here that Eric Lynch has asked me to give you, Alex. So you don't have to read it all over the computer. But my concern, there's so much about smart meters that may be unsafe. And I personally only know the little bit I've seen on the internet when I've Googled it, and looking over some of what Eric Lynch has printed for Alex. I feel there needs to be a lot more research done, really looking into this. Italy has banned the use of smart meters and wireless technology. The town of Sedona had all of theirs that was put on, and they have voted to have it all removed. And if you just do a little research, you'll see maybe to have second thoughts about this. And am I understanding correctly, on the 25th you vote for this?
The 25th is for the financing.
It's what?
For the financing.
Oh, okay. But anyway, my point in being here is just for all of us to research this a bit more and make sure it's something we want for our town. And I wouldn't be surprised if the gas and electric systems are going to be behind, the next smart meters, because they're in many parts of our country and our world, and many citizens are voicing that they feel these are not safe. And there's a lot of scientific evidence saying that. So, thank you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is council comments. Councilor Raymond Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I used to be a teacher, and now and again I cannot help myself. So I would like to talk a little bit tonight about how you determine cause and effect using science. So often people get confused. They think that if you say something causes something else, that it does. But no, there are some really stringent criteria. First, you have to define what is cause and what is effect, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then you have to look at time. Did the cause actually happen truly before the effect? You have to rule out alternative explanations. And any work that you do in determining cause and effect has to be repeatable. Replicable is the word that we use. So the example that I have about how you really have to separate out what's cause and effect is work that has been done on alcoholism and depression. So a number of researchers would find a relationship between alcohol and depression. But which comes first? Is it that depressed people drink? Or is it that if you drink, you become depressed? That still is kind of a question under research. And the example that I give about really being able to replicate studies and rule out alternative explanations has to do with peptic ulcers. Now, a friend of mine's dad, whom I shall call Mr. S., had peptic ulcers. And because his stomach hurt when he ate chilies, he was pretty convinced for a long time that it was the chilies that caused the ulcers. And in fact, at the time, his doctor said, yeah, let's restrict your diet. Don't eat chilies. Eat just plain rice and soft, bland foods. That bored him, but what was even more terrible is his ulcers didn't go away. And then Mr. S., I remember this conversation very well, he attributed his ulcers to his new boss. Because he said, until that blankety-blank boss came to my life, my stomach was fine. So,
My apologies.
that was an affirmation for Mr. S. So, he was pretty convinced first that it was Chili's and then it was his boss. But now we know from investigative science, with a number of experiments that could be replicated and controls, that most peptic ulcers are caused by bacteria, so they can be cured. So poor Mr. S. suffered with his boss and didn't eat chilies for many years, and not because of erroneous beliefs. So I just want to put out to the world here that unless we have clear evidence of cause coming first, effect following, and no other alternative reasons why there might be an effect, it's really not appropriate to say that something causes something else. And that's my moment of teaching. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. I'm just looking at it going, what's his name? Counselor Ray.
Thank you, Mija.
I don't know, it's the lights.
One of the comments I want to make is that I feel very lonely up here without the mayor, so I would ask Mr. Brown or Mr. Scavron to please sit up here with me. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I want to thank Mr. Brown, and this came from the mailman, for moving the sign there on Cooper Street. He did a lot of extra room. Also, thanks to the police department, the sheriff's department, the fire department for going slower on Cooper Street. It makes a heck of a lot of big difference now. If we still have a lot of traffic, and we're going to have it for a long time, but it's making a lot of difference. There was recently a softball tournament this past weekend, and Mr. Turrieta and Mr. Nanes and another individual took care of that, and they had a very big turnout. And again, thank them. I want to touch a little bit on the subject about the last comment that the young lady made about radiation. Bananas are slightly radioactive because they contain potassium and potassium decays. Potassium is a necessary substance for healthy operation of your body. You would have to eat a lot of bananas just to compete with the natural potassium dose of your body. And now, radiation source. Inhalation of air, and the remark is, mainly from radon, depends on indoor accumulation. Terrestrial radiation from ground depends on the soil and building material. Cosmic radiation from space depends on the altitude. And we have a lot of radiation throughout the world. We get bombarded by radiation, the sun, your house, food, different types of food. So, with this said, I believe that Mr. Brown is doing a correct thing in getting the water meters for the people. And also, thanks to the Daily Press for making an article on the Blues Festival and the Clay Festival and the fiber art and congratulating the tourism that we have had here in Silver. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Khanna.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I would just like to thank the Public Works Department for the work that they've done on Kimberly and PA Road in that general area. The neighbors in that area are enjoying driving on a road that doesn't have a big hole in the middle of it anymore, so thank you for that. I'd also like to congratulate Anthony Quintana, Yolanda Quintana, and Ronald Quintana on a very, very successful Summer Music Fest. I was there both evenings. There were hundreds of people with huge smiles on their faces, and to me, that's always a good sign. So I'm looking forward to the next event that they host, along with their sponsors, the organizations and businesses that partnered with them. Also, I would like to request that at some point, possibly in September, we take another look at the bag ordinance, just to talk about if it's working, if it's not working. I know there's a lot of people with opinions that have been contacting me, and it'd be nice if they would come and contact everyone else as well. And just see if it's working, how businesses are feeling. Maybe we can get Terry Timmy to come and join us and just talk about it a little bit. So maybe if we can do that maybe in September or something. So. And then the last thing, this is directed to my neighborhood. And my neighborhood is the North Loop area. And I'm sure everyone in town will also, find times when this fits. But off-road vehicles, to include dirt bikes, motocross bikes, golf carts, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, gators, etc., are not meant for street use. It's illegal for them to be used on the streets. This evening, I had to call the Silver Lake Police Department because one of my neighbors decided that it was okay to not only ride a four-wheeler on my road, but also to be speeding and passing cars while holding an infant. That is not acceptable. The police did respond, and I will continue to call as many times as I have to, and I would hope that my neighbors would do the same thing, because it's definitely a situation that is not safe. So please keep those vehicles for use on golf courses and in the forest, not on streets. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Khanna. Before we go to round two, I want to make a few comments, if I could, and then we'll go to round two, because I know that Councilor Ray, see, I remembered your name, has another comment. In terms of smart meters, I want to assure the public that the town is not considering the installation of smart meters blindly. The smart meter program is part of the town's water conservation plan, which was approved by the council on August 2nd, 2013. And it has been discussed for at least 2 years, and we're at the point where we're talking about financing. I sincerely believe this, that the town staff and the council have thoroughly researched the issues regarding smart meters, and I thank Councilor Eamon Smith for her eloquent explanation of cause and effect, and how we must rely on replication to establish A causes B. So we are relying on the most credible and independent research sources to make this decision. There's been a lot of research. For me personally, I think most people know I'm a scientist. Most people know I research and I research and I research. That's been my life since I can ever remember. I'll read everything, and I'll read it completely. When I say independent research or organizations, I mean that these organizations are not government-driven. They're science-driven. They want to have that replication of whatever it is that someone has indicated is that A equals or causes B. So I personally am a fact-based person. That's my decisions are made on facts, even here at the council. I rely on replicated research, double-blind studies, to ensure that it does really, that A, is the causal factor of the end result B. So for me, I just want to clarify something. The World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer evaluated the carcinogenicity. Thank you. Carcinogenicity. It's like I'm not talking today. Of potential radio frequency that no scientific basis currently exists for a connection between electromagnetic hypersensitivity and electromagnetic field or radio frequencies. The study, I want to be really clear about this because I think that context is everything, and removing a part of a sentence or a part of a paragraph is not giving the full context. The study has classified, as the result of a 13-country nation coordination and study, the study did classify radio frequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans in the group 2B, which includes a whole lot of things that we use in our everyday and daily life, based on an increased risk for glioma, a malignant type of brain cancer that's associated with wireless phone use. That's it. So I know that after council comments, I think Mr. Brown would like to comment on the fact that we currently do have smart meters in place, and that there are other entities as a test, and there are other entities in the surrounding area that are currently using smart meters and have for at least 1 year. And I'll let Mr. Brown discuss that a little further. The other thing I want to address is the notice of intent on the animal care ordinance. And I felt that after a number of almost similar comments that I had not clarified enough for folks when it was introduced at the last meeting. So here's some clarification. The NOI submitted is only to replace the animal care section of the current ordinance. It's not a comprehensive change. Once the NOI passes, town staff will develop a brochure, and this is what we hope, that will be available on the town's website for download, but that'll also be at some, available in various different areas of town. And town staff will explore any alternatives to distribute the information to residents that are cost effective. That's really what it comes down to, because I don't want to kill a whole bunch of trees just to produce these flyers, but I want to make sure that what we do is cost effective, because it can be quite burdensome to print out lots and lots and lots of paper. We watch our finances very carefully, and I thank the town staff for doing that. Now, once again, the animal care is a change to a small section of the overall animal ordinance. I want to clarify that administrative enforcement, citations, citation contents, failure to correct violation, and penalty assessments established have not been changed. Those sections of the ordinance remain intact and will cover this section when and if it is passed by the town council. State law restricts municipal penalties to a maximum of $500. Am I correct, Mr. Scavron?
For instance, a violation except for DWIs.
Okay, thank you. Or an imprisonment for a period of not to exceed 90 days, except for probably in the case of DWAs as well. Now, I want to make sure everybody understands that the municipal judge sets the penalties for violations for the chapter, and it is specified under the penalty assessments established that the minimum penalty per violation is $50, but it can go up to $500 based on her discretion. Now, that's just a penalty. Court fees and other fees are added to that. So I just want to make sure that folks understand that there's the citation part of it, and the penalty part of it is actually through the judge. And as a council, and I think as everybody knows, there's civic lessons that the judge, the judiciary branch, is the third branch of government. The council members of the legislature, the executive office is represented by the mayor, and then we have the judge, the municipal judge. So we have no control over telling her what to do. I just want to make it really clear, because people, I've received other comments that people want us to make sure that certain things are done. The judge is an elected official. That's a separate branch of government, and we do not do anything but provide the ordinance that the staff enforces, and then the judge will also set violations for upon receiving citations from the staff. And then the last thing I want to make sure everybody understands is that there's been some concerns raised about including barking dogs in this ordinance. Barking dogs is already included in the existing noise ordinance, which is Article 6, Offenses Involving Public Peace and Order, Section 24-179, Noise Control. And under definitions, animal noise includes, but is not limited to, barking dogs and fowl, making noise continuously or incessantly for 10 minutes or intermittently for half an hour or more, to the disturbance of any person at any time, day or night, regardless of whether the animal is physically situated in or upon private property. So that's where, since it's a nuisance ordinance, that's where you would call and say, I've got a dog that's been barking and barking and barking. It doesn't matter what time of day or night. And you would call Central Dispatch, non-emergency number, and let them know and request that an officer come. It won't be the animal control officer necessarily, because this is a nuisance ordinance. So I want to make sure everybody understands that the barking dog, since it's a separate section, it's already been taken care of, and it's not at all in the animal ordinance because it's a different type of ordinance. So that's it for my comments, and I know that Councilor Ray wants a second round. Alex, did you want, what, no. Did you want to say something, or? Okay.
I want to do some language here on the cell phones. And I want to see if we can get some public input on banning the cell phones. Whether it be riding a bicycle, whether it be walking. But I would like to see some people in the public make comments on it, either here or in the daily press. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Ray. The next item on the agenda is changes to the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? No? Okay, hearing none. Reports. Mr. Brown?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I just wanted to let everybody know that the chip seal project is ongoing. It started yesterday. They've done quite a bit. I've had some calls and concerns about some washboarding that has been left there. Don't worry, all it is excess rock that will be swept off the road next week. And then the staff will come back and do the the seal, in a few weeks, we'll come back and do the fog seal on the chip seal area. We did not, everybody will see that there's a section between where we finished the new part of Little Walnut and the beginning of the chip seal project that hasn't been done. That is going to be part of the project that we will be doing. It's going to be a mill and overlay. We're going to do that as soon as we get the legislative funding, the contract and everything. As soon as that's done, we can do that during the cold weather, unlike chip seal. So we can do it as soon as the money comes in.
So, just a question, how long is it taking to get the legislative funding?
We don't know. Nobody's heard anything
I
since.
understand that things are going very slow, not just for municipalities, but also for higher ed and other institutions that receive legislative funding, so. But I think if we can just keep a tab on it. I'm going to finish this section because before we go back to the one that apparently my eyes skipped, which was approval of the minutes. So do we have did you have anything else that you'd like to speak to?
I just wanted to say, back on the meters, that we will be approving the financing on the 25th. We've been working on this project for over a year and a half. So we've got approximately, we went back and approximately 80% of our large meters are already this type of a meter with the radio read. We did a test project where we replaced 20 of our current meters to the meter that we have right now, and then just replaced the register, which is actually the radio read portion of the meter on our current meters, on the other meters. So we've already got over 60 meters in the system that are flashing, are sending out that signal. We just don't have the equipment to read it. What we've done is the company that we've been working with has been coming down and bringing the equipment and doing the read for us, so that we could compare all between the old meters and the new meters, and so we could. We wanted to make an educated decision. So we already do have the meters. Arenas Valley has had the meters. Their whole system is radio read. They've had it for over a year. So, if you drive to Baird, you've been exposed to it. Deming just changed both their water meters and their gas meters because they run both systems. They've changed both of those to the radio read. So, if you're going to go to Las Cruces, you're going through a ton of meters, radio read. That's in place. And then I did want to say something. I had some comments about paying for town council travel and training, and when you guys represent the town. I just want to make it very clear that as an elected representative, you're just like town staff. When you're doing town business, the town is going to pay for it, not you. This is one of the only town councils in the state of New Mexico that is not paid. Represent paid for anything. So any of you that work, when you take off, you have to use your own leave time to go represent the town. And the town is not going to require you to take off of work and then pay for yourself to get there and represent the town as well. So, we don't do that. We've never worked like that. If you're on town business, we are going to pay for you to do it. If you're going to represent or you're going to promote the town, we're going to pay for it to be done. In a case like the municipal league, your election, we're going to pay for your election. It's not a public election, it's an election to represent the town of Silver City at the municipal league level. So I just want to make it very clear, you're volunteers, and we're not going to ask you to pay to volunteer. We appreciate, the public should really appreciate everything that you guys do without pay. So I just wanted to reiterate and respond to some comments that were made to me today.
Thank you, Alex. I think that's, everyone sitting at the council table, and even the mayor, who's not here right now, have been actively involved in training and education through the Municipal Officials Leadership Institute. I know that Councilor Kano and I believe you as well are now municipal. You're not certified yet? Yes. So I know that Councilor Kano and I are both certified municipal officials, and she's going to have a really nice award ceremony at the upcoming annual conference, where she's going to join, I think it's 27 people that are now going to be certified municipal officials. That means that we're taking the time to train ourselves to be the most effective representatives for all of you who elect us. And I also know that as time permitting, that council members and the mayor do a lot of representation on various committees for the New Mexico Municipal League, such as various different policy committees, resolutions, budget committee for the entire league, and board of directors. So it's important that Silver City have a voice and a presence at the table, because we're quite unique in terms of municipalities. There's 105 municipalities, soon in the future to be 106, that are dues-paying members of the Municipal League. And they are our advocacy and a policy-making body. They represent us in everything that we do, and we do everything that we can to make sure that any legislation that comes forward is beneficial to all of our municipalities, and that it's not harmful. We don't always win. For instance, the reduction of the food and medical TRT, but we do everything we can in that we can possibly do to ensure that we can everything that is possible is going to be beneficial. So I just wanted to thank you for saying that. Did you have a comment, Mr. Scavron?
No, I just was clarifying that when Mr. Brown was saying, paying for you to do this and to do that, I just clarify that you're not being paid to do anything. You're being reimbursed for your expenses. So you're still receiving zero compensation, which is unusual in the state. Only that. Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification, because yes, $0 comes in terms of compensation. So thank you. Any other reports out there from staff? Okay, I don't see anyone else. Did you have anything? Okay, thank you. I am going to backtrack to approval of the minutes. Counselor?
Madam Mayor, I move to approve the regular council meeting minutes for the town of Silver City of July 28th, 2015.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to, for the approval of the minutes of the regular town council meeting of July 28th, 2015. Is there any discussion or comments? All those in favor signify by saying pro. I'm sorry. My apologies. All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Look, some of this stuff comes out of my mouth because I was the president of an organization, and I don't. That just comes rolling off. Not the fact that I missed things on the agenda. But. The next item on the agenda is new business, approval/disapproval of a public celebration permit application for the Silver City Chicano Music Fest Car and Bike Show with alcohol service to be held September 5th through 6th, 2015 at Golf Park from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sponsor is the Southwest Chicano Music Association. Liquor license holder is Q's Southern Bistro, LLC, DBA Branding Iron Brewery Co., license number 67025, 101 West College Avenue, Silver City, New Mexico. Ms. Quintana, if you would join us and present your request.
First of all, I want to thank the mayor and everybody for your time. My name is Yolanda Quintana with Q's Bistro, and we're here asking for permission for the beer garden for the Chicano Music Fest.
Are there any questions from the council? Councilor Raymond Smith, Councilor Kano, I'm looking right at you.
Thank you, Mayor. The first question I have is, the application itself has the dates of September 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then the letter has the dates of September 5th and 6th, so we just need to clarify it officially.
September 5th and 6th.
Okay. And then my second question is, I'm looking at the drawing of where the beer garden is going to be, and it mentions the back of the beer garden having orange mesh fence. Is there a specific reason for that?
We're having, just like the Little Toad Creek has had the mesh fence, and the reason for that is that we're wanting the people that go, that they're able to see the activities that the Chicano Fest is having, so that they would be able to enjoy.
Okay, well, I have two problems with that. First of all, the location is right in the middle of the park, and so I'm a little concerned about minors. The second thing is the orange mesh part is actually facing the side. It's not facing the gazebo anyway, so they're going to be looking at the audience.
It's going to be meshed all around.
Oh, okay.
And we are going to have
What is that?
security.
Okay. So that's not what it says on the map. It says 4-foot fencing on two sides and then orange mesh on the next side. And actually, if you're going to do orange mesh, my concern is still the height of the fence, just because of where it is in the park. A 4-foot fence, anyone over the age of probably 10 can reach over it. So is it possible to do 6 feet of orange mesh instead of 4 feet?
Sure. I don't see it a problem. What about 5? It's because we're having people just sitting down, and it's not going to be a whole lot of people in the tent.
5 is good, because that's an adult height.
Okay.
So,
all right.
That would be fine. If that's okay with you, then if whoever's doing the motion can include that, I'd appreciate it.
Any further questions? Councilor Ray?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ms. Quintana, on your license holder information, you have here that the event begin time is Saturday from 12 p.m. end time 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Now, on the application to serve liquor, on the letter itself, it says here that the beer garden will be open from 12 noon to 9 p.m. on Saturday and from 12 noon to 4 p.m. on Sunday. On your application, it just has event time from 12 p.m., end time for 9 p.m.
And alcohol service.
For alcoholic services.
Yeah.
May you correct it and put down Sunday also as from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. before we take a vote on this?
For Sunday?
For Sunday, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So if I could, Councilor Ray, Ms. Quintana, under the section where it says alcohol service begin time, it just says 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., similar to the event time that's above it. And usually when there's two different alcohol service periods, we like to see that separated out by Saturday, 9/5 is, the begin time is 12 p.m. and then end time is 9 p.m. And then Sunday, 9/6, it's from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And so just a little bit of clarification. So the original will have to be adjusted if the council agrees and before signature by me as the acting mayor. And also the original where it says dates of events will have to be adjusted to only state 5 through 6.
Okay.
September 5th through 6th. Any further questions for Ms. Quintana? Would you like to say something?
No, I just wanted to let her know I'm part of the Southwest Chicano Music Association, and the first letter that you're looking at, our festival does start Friday on the 4th.
Okay.
But their portion starts on the 5th.
Right, and that's what this particular license holder information statement is really about, the alcohol, not necessarily...
Okay, I just didn't
The
want her
festival.
to, or anybody to mistake that it wasn't going on the 4th, is what my concern was. It does start on the 5th, but her portion, the dates are right on the 5th and the 6th.
Yes, para the application here for the
Yeah.
license holder information, it does have September 4th through the 6th.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that it was correct on both our parts, not just hers. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Scabron, if I could, excuse me, Councilor Ray, for a point of clarification, my understanding is under the public celebration permit application is really addressing the service of the alcohol. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that's why the request to update it with 5 and 6, September 5th and 6th only, because that's the only dates that you're serving alcohol.
Correct.
Yes. And it has nothing to do with the actual music and other festival activities. It has to do primarily and only and solely with the alcohol.
Right.
Okay. So I just wanted to clarify that for everyone. Councilor Ray, do you have any further concerns or questions?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Councilor Smith? Okay. I will consider a motion. In the motion, we must ensure that we state that there's a waiver from the Apostolic Assembly of the Faith in Jesus Christ Church in accordance with New Mexico statutes annotated, or NMSA 60-6B-12, because of its proximity of the serving area to the church. And also the changes requested for the event time, and also the change to the fence height.
I move to approve a public celebration permit application for the Silver City Chicano Music Fest Car and Bike Show with the alcohol services to be held September 5th and 6th, 2015 at Golf Park, with a correction on Saturday, the 5th, from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., and from Sunday, the 6th, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Sponsor is the Southwest Chicano Music Association. Liquor license holder is Q's Bistro, LLC, DBA Brandon Iron Brewery Company, license number 67025, 101 West College Avenue, Silver City, New Mexico, with a waiver from Apostolic Assembly of the Faith in Jesus Christ in accordance with the NMSA 60-6B-12. Is that correct, Mr. Scriven?
You need to include the security fence condition.
For the security fence to be at 5 feet. Psychedelic color, no, orange. Orange color, right?
Do I have a second?
There's that motion that's stated in the record.
There's a motion and a second to approve the public celebration permit application for the Silver City Chicano Music Fest Car and Bike Show as entered into the record, so I don't have to read it over again. Is there further discussion or comment from the council? No, ma'am. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. I know, I'm really bad at doing that. Okay, that ends the business portion. I will entertain a motion. Councilor Smith?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those, do we have to discuss this? No. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye? Okay. All those opposed, same sign. The meeting is adjourned.